Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let me grab my mic. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this will be an impromptu public speaking stream. I will be generating prompts that I found on this impromptu speech topics generator. I'll put it up on screen in a moment. But basically what we'll be doing today is doing some public speaking training. Now, do note that my screen is over here, so I might be randomly looking this direction. And then do note that this stream might end soon because, you know, logistics, and do note that the mic may suddenly just randomly decide to cut off. Because today, I'm not using this mic. I'm not using this tiny little thing here. I'm using this one. It's I believe it's 10 years old. It's some sort of stick mic. I'm not sure. It used to come with a stand, but stand doesn't exist anymore. So, yeah, it depends. It might end at any moment. And the stream may just cut off. You never know. So if it happens to go to this, and then the stream just randomly ends, don't be surprised, okay? So, yeah, I mean, it's something I do because, I mean, I want to. Alright, so, give me a moment, set up. I'm going to create a new scene on OBS, and we'll see what happens. So right now, keyboard ASMR. OBS. Wait a second, that's not right. Speech 1. All right. So what we have now is add a source. Where's my browser? All right, let's go, boys and girls, if there are any watching. Let's go. So where's my window capture? There it is. Okay. So that. As you can see, I have not really prepared well for this stream. I tried. All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Alright, so here's the thing. Because I'm also on WhatsApp. So yeah, here's the thing. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, the thing is, I have a presentation coming up very soon. I believe it'll be in a few days, and it's very, very important because it's... Can you hear that? Because it's literally just all marks for that particular subject that I'm studying. So, I thought I would live stream myself doing some impromptu speeches. So the reason I have this mic here is because I have to get used to using a mic, but I just realized that normally with IRL speeches, you would actually be standing up. So I will adjust that. I'll tilt my stand backwards so that you should be able to see me standing up. Unfortunately, yeah, the cable is almost not long enough, and I'm standing in the wrong place. Never mind. This will do. So, as you can see on the screen, impromptu speech topics I tried this out a moment ago. It says, actually, impromptu speech topics, radio, student loans. Okay, so first of all, there's only one thing left to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me adjust the camera one more time. Uh-oh. As you can see, I haven't really prepared well for this stream. Everything is falling apart. Oh no. Come on. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, student loans. When I started college, or in my case, university, depending on whether you're in America or Malaysia, you may have to get a student loan. So, a student loan is defined as a sum of money given to a student who has to pay back that amount of money to the creditor. The student is now the person taking out the loan and has to use it in a certain way. For example, to further his or her studies in a college or a university. In Malaysia, student loans come in various forms. We have private student loans, such as those that you can get, for example, under the Swinburne University. And there are public or government student loans, such as those that you can get under KWSP. Now, the thing about student loans is, number one, the student owes the money to another party. So, if the student can't get a job after that particular party wants the money back, that student is in very deep trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Because in that case, the creditor will be able to issue a summons to the student who is currently jobless and get all their money back or force the student to declare themselves bankrupt. So, as the last part of my impromptu speech that lasted 5 minutes, I don't know how I got this far. So, as the last part of my impromptu speech that lasted 5 minutes of me absolutely frying this into oblivion. So, ladies and gentlemen, whether you take a student loan is up to you. Some of us may be forced into it because of monetary problems, for example. We may not have the adequate amount of money to finish our particular course in university. Some of us may take it because even though we have the means, we have issues, you see. Life isn't so easy. We may have to contend with sudden medical expenses, for example, that force us to take a loan. And so, ladies and gentlemen, life is hard. As you can see, I tried to end the speech and I gave up. So, this is very good. This is a very good way of actually showing you how incompetent I am. Okay, so. Guns. So now, I probably better prepare before I start the speech. It's 11:02, so I'll give myself until 11:04 to prepare, and I'll have until 11:06 to do a presentation. So that's 2 minutes of prep and 2 minutes of speech. So guns, for example, I'll try to link it to school shooting. That one case that happened recently in the USA. I'll try to link it to gun violence, and also the introduction is pew pew. You always need a good introduction to try to grab the attention of the audience. So you need to be able to make a connection to the audience. Also, I remember seeing a statistic that basically says that the USA has the highest number of gun deaths while being absolutely nowhere near the top number of people who play online games that have guns in them. I'll probably try to use that. Because, you know, video games and guns. Yeah, absolute media favorite. But I don't have the stats to back it up. As you can see, I'm trying to do all non-fiction. I mean, I could do a story. I haven't done that before. So yeah, that's basically my train of thought. Okay, it's 11:04. So, ladies and gentlemen, when I say guns, the first thing you think of is probably video games with guns in them and the classic parent speech of pew pew makes you go violent. So, don't play pew pew. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, with the increasing number of school shootings that have been happening in the past year or so, especially in America, what we've seen is that the authorities claim that violent games are causing more and more young people to turn violent and to cause the school shootings. However, there is always a but in these explanations. Because South Korea, ladies and gentlemen, is the country with the highest number of players of games that have guns in them. And ladies and gentlemen, when's the last time you heard of a school shooting in South Korea? Ladies and gentlemen, what's the last time you heard of a school shooting in America? Because in America, you have... Okay, before I continue, am I going to get delisted, demonetized, deleted? Okay, so because in America, you have three... Okay, I'm really not ready. I'm really, really not ready. Oh, bruh. Now you see, it's been a long time since I did any sort of practice for impromptu speeches. So because, yeah, I'm out of practice. This is bad, ladies and gentlemen. This is bad. Very up here. Yeah. This is really bad, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Okay. So basically what's happening is I'm going to try to pull up that speech that day. I'm going to try to see if I can do it with a sort of script. With a script. Because you see, yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but my hand's vibrating and I am pretty nervous, even though right now there's 0 views. There's no concurrent viewers, but I'm nervous. Mainly because I'm out of practice, honestly. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to see is what I'm going to end up presenting. It's a study. Let me drop the volume. Oh, camera died. Camera died. Camera died. It's a study on aspartame. Camera's back. And yeah. There's nobody watching, but I'm nervous, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really out of practice here. I'm way out of my depth because the last time I did a whole stand-up and speech and everything was way before COVID. That was 2 years and a bit ago. My skill hasn't really gotten any better since then. Yeah, it's not good, ladies and gentlemen. Hmm. So, I'll show you the script for a moment. Yeah, so take it slow, don't rush, and savor every moment. So I have to practice using this stuff at home, which is what I'm doing now. It's all part of the plan. And there's 15 minutes total presentation time with Q&A. So there's intro, there's aspartame, research, definition, and information, and a lot of studies. So yeah, that's a lot to go through, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy. You know, getting practice is something that's very necessary when you're doing public speaking. And right now, I don't have it. None at all. So, yeah, you know, journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Also, I forgive me for the absolutely useless camera angle. Yes, you can see the clock in the background. So yes, the thing is, I practiced this. So that's the difference that practice makes. I don't know if it'll be any smoother, but at least I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, what could go wrong? This is, I don't know, man. When I woke up this morning, I chugged a can of red goodness called Coca-Cola. I mean, IRL, this would be a Coca-Cola can. There's a prop that I'll bring on stage. Before you ask me why I'm drinking cola so early in the morning, I gotta let you in on a secret. I'm on a diet. So, the zero variant has 0 calories. It's sweetened by aspartame, and it's how I get my daily dose of sweet saccharine goodness. Aspartame is a sweetener that's 200 times sweeter than normal sugar or sucrose. However, this innocent sweetie can also be so sweet, it doesn't just give you diabetes, it gives you straight up cancer. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to get to the bottom of this mystery, to study aspartame and expression of cancer markers in healthy human cells. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. 57 years ago, a scientist called James M. Schlettner was trying to research anti-ulcer drugs and decided that would be a good idea to lick his fingers. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're in a lab, don't do this at home or in a lab. It's never a good idea to lick your fingers because of multiple biosafety protocols and multiple people who have died from licking their fingers in a lab. However, he discovered that his fingers tasted sweet. And because of that, he did a little bit of research into the compound that was coating his fingers, and give or take a few more months, we had the compound called aspartame that we are so familiar with today. Aspartame is a sweetener protein with the molecular formula C14H18N2O5, made of 2 amino acids, L-aspartic acid and L-phenylalanine. It has multiple other roles, such as being an inhibitor of apoptosis. That's something to be researched in the future. In the European Union, it is known as E951. It is 200 times sweeter than sugar, as aforementioned, and this is due to the fact that it binds to heterodimer G proteins, and in turn binds to receptors T1R2 and T1R3. This creates a stimuli that the brain interprets as sweet. However, Why is it sweeter than sugar? Because of its chemical properties that allow it to create a stronger bonding reaction to these receptors. With that stronger bonding reaction, our brain interprets the stimuli as being stronger. And stronger means sweeter in this case. When it is metabolized, it releases 10% methanol, 40% aspartic acid, and 50% phenylalanine, according to its chemical formulae. However, the reason why it has so low calories is because it's literally 200 times sweeter than sugar, meaning you can use 200 times less of it. Even though it contains the same amount of calories, which is 4 calories per gram, as sugar, it has the capacity to be used in much lower amounts and still produce the same, if not greater, sweetness with lower calories. According to scientific opinion on the re-evaluation of aspartame E951 as a food additive by the European Food Safety Association, aspartame is quickly broken into 3 compounds as mentioned above: aspartic acid, methanol, and phenylalanine. Now, phenylalanine is a known toxic to humans at high concentrations and is the main concern in our case for aspartame. However, both the American Food and Drug Agency, or FDA, and the aforementioned European Food Safety Association, or EFSA, have noted that aspartame does not cause phenylalanine accumulation even in patients who took extremely large doses of aspartame. We are talking up to 100 or maybe even thousands of milligrams per kilogram of body weight, when the safe dose, depending on country, is 40 to 50 milligrams. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of cans of Coke. However, a French study called Nutrinet-Santé, I hope I did not butcher that pronunciation, conducted a study on the links between artificial sweeteners and occurrences of cancer, and found that the most common sweetener, aspartame, at 58% of French national consumption, had Okay, now you see. Okay, so the thing is, it was smooth going. It was smooth going all the way up to that bit where I because actually in my script, statistics, and I skipped out a section of these statistics. Let me show you. Yeah, right here. 58% consumption of the total 1,865 participants. Participants were followed up for a duration of 7.7 years, and higher consumers were defined as consuming more than 19 milligrams for women and 17.4 milligrams per day for men. Lower consumers consume less than that amount. There should be a graph here that I'm supposed to explain. The graph isn't available just yet. So I'm honestly not sure, because the last time I practiced this, I could read the script. I could just read the script off my computer screen right here. But, in real life, you don't have this ability anymore to read the script. Yeah, so it's going to be a challenge for me because I'm going to have to, probably going to have to memorize all of these numbers. This is quite a struggle for me because I'm not good with numbers. It's a challenge. Yeah, you can see non-consumers 3.1%, consumers 3.191%, higher consumers 3.165%, aspartame 3.113. These are my notes, man. So I'm trying to say it's a 0.2% increase only because this What is this number? 131 million. 131 million. 800,000 people in the USA also take aspartame. So that's the thing. Numbers, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this is sad. Yeah, I better just casually shrink this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. It's not that easy to do a speech, ladies and gentlemen. Because yeah, some people, they have that ability to just, go straight up on a stage and give a speech. I don't know, man. I don't know. Whew. So yeah. Never mind. I don't know, practice makes perfect. Let's just get back at it. Alright. So yeah, was it a good idea to live stream my public speaking practice? I do not know. Was it a good idea to... I don't know, man. Never mind. It's never a good idea until you've tried it. Sometimes it's a bad idea until you've tried it. Sometimes it's a good idea until you've tried it. I don't know, man. So yeah, the thing is, the reason why I'm doing this practice is because it's like there's a lot of my marks just sitting on this one presentation. So I better get it done, better get good. So yeah, I will have to bring a bottle of Coke up on stage. And I will have to make sure that this is a flawless run. Okay. God help me, please. When I woke up this morning, I chugged a can of red goodness called Coca-Cola. This... Oh, bruh. Because, yeah, I mean... I researched this, but it's not my cup of tea, I could give a long speech about why the Proto Beza is a superior vehicle over the Proton Saga, for example. I could give you a speech about chocolate. I could give you a speech about... Let's just do chocolate. I don't know, man. So, why is the stream stuck? Why is the stream stuck? Okay, stream's moving. My internet's bad, I think. I don't know, man. DM that, please. So, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Proton Saga versus Proto Beza. I have 2 minutes. Let me get the timer on. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, before you, as a new fresh graduate, buy a car, you must first consider the 2 almost cheapest sedans in Malaysia, apart from the used car market, of course. But because your parents will always tell you to buy a new car if you have the money, because new car will not break down one ma. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, always buy sedan. Where the boot letter you put your shopping. Then got a lot of space. So, the two cheapest sedans in Malaysia are number one, the Proton Saga, and number two, the Proda Beza. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my pretty divisive opinion on why the Beza is better than the Saga. Not just because it is Berbeza. Oh no, never mind. I'm becoming a salesman now. Because, first of all, the Proda Beza has a slightly larger boot. It is a car that has a 503-liter boot compared to the 497 liters of the Saga, as well as having a lower boot lip, which means that you don't have to lift the shopping as high as the Saga. It is also a more reliable car with a 1NZ-FE engine that can trace its lineage all the way back to the Proda Axia, or maybe the Proda Kancil. The Saga, however, has a reputation of being unreliable and has a tendency to leak fuel. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that right. It leaks fuel if the fuel tank is punctured, because the fuel tank is made of fiberglass, which is a known source of failure. Ladies and gentlemen, get yourself a Beza, save yourself the maintenance cost, and get in more room. Thank you. So yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a very good speech, is it? I really need to improve. I really need to improve. Oh well. Yeah. It's not good, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good. But it's not bad either. Actually, it is bad. Let's be fair, it's bad. It's how do you say? You know, it feels like I've been, I've been training for I've been not training for the past 2 years, and I'm trying to get back in shape again, and I'm all fat and boing boing. Yeah, I'm not even dressed properly, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good. It's not going well. Oh well. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined the stream, it's not going well. Crab Rave is playing, and it's weird, man. After 2 years. After 2 years of just sitting in front of a computer. It's really weird. Okay, so I suppose it's like it is honestly difficult. It's quite hot. Yep, camera died. Yep, camera's back again. Yeah, it is challenging, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get a drink and get cracking. One more time. More Coca-Cola, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Stay hydrated. And when I woke up this morning, I chugged a can of red goodness called Coca-Cola. This is the zero version, sweetened with aspartame. It has 0 calories because aspartame is 200 times sweeter than sugar, which allows it to be used in smaller quantities and therefore have a net yield of 0 calories because I'm on a diet. However, this innocent sweetie can be so sweet, it doesn't just give you diabetes, it gives you cancer. We are here to get to the bottom of this mystery, to study aspartame and expression of cancer markers in healthy human cells. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. 57 years ago, a scientist called James M. Schlatter was trying to research anti-ulcer chemicals and decided it would be a good idea to lick his fingers in the middle of an experiment. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever in a lab, never try this. Because you never know how many people have died from the lack of lab hygiene. However, it tasted sweet, and he took note of the concoction, noticed it was aspartame, and their history was made. Aspartame is a sweetener protein with the molecular formula C14H18N2O5, made of 2 amino acids, L-aspartic acid and L-phenylalanine. It has multiple other roles, such as being an inhibitor for apoptosis in medicine. In the European Union, it is known as E951, with every chemical food additive being assigned an E number. For example, MSG is E451. It is 200 times sweeter than sugar because of the way it binds to human taste receptors. It binds to the heterodimer G protein culprit receptors with T1R2 and T1R3 proteins, which creates a stimuli that the brain interprets as sweet. It is far sweeter than sugar because it binds more strongly to these receptors, resulting in stronger feedback to the brain, in turn resulting in more sweetness according to the brain's interpretation, which is technically correct, although they both yield roughly 4 calories of energy per gram. You can use 200 times less aspartame in theory to create the same amount of sweetness as this 1 gram of sucrose, which means you're negating the calories by putting minuscule amounts into your Coca-Cola. According to scientific opinion on the re-evaluation of aspartame E951 as a food additive by the European Food Safety Association, aspartame is quickly broken down into 3 compounds: aspartic acid, methanol, and phenylalanine, as aforementioned. Now, phenylalanine is a known toxin to humans in large amounts and is the main concern for aspartame. However, studies from the FDA, or Food and Drug Agency in the USA, and the European Food Safety Association, or the EFSA, have noted that aspartame does not cause phenylalanine to accumulate even in patients who took large doses of aspartame. Thus, this research showed that even in doses of up to 4,000 milligrams per kilogram, which is 100 times higher than the safe dose of roughly 40 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, cause no adverse effect in both humans and animals. And so that's why the safe level currently hovers in different countries at around 40 to 50 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. However, a French study called Nutrinet Santé studied the links between artificial sweeteners and cancer occurrences. And they found that the participants, who were followed for 7.7 years on average, had a 0.2% higher possibility of contracting cancer. As you can see on the graph, which currently does not yet exist, the non-consumers of artificial sweeteners had 3.102% occurrence of cancer. Lower consumers, defined as those who consume less than 19 milligrams per kilogram of body weight for women and 17.4 milligrams per kilogram of body weight for men, reported an occurrence of 3.919% of cancer. This leap between the non-consumers and lower consumers is higher at 0.7% compared to the leap between the non-consumers and higher volume consumers who currently have 3.165% occurrence of cancer, which means out of 100 people, approximately 3.165 people. Do remember that you can't chop people in half, but bear with me for a moment. 3.165 people actually had cancer. Now you might think, 0.2% increase. What is that? Let me just tell you that. In the USA alone, 130, camera's dead. There we go. 131,800,000 people eat, drink, or otherwise take aspartame in their daily meals. 3.1% of that would be 4,349,400 people. That is a lot, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lot of people getting cancer. A study by the Razmadzi Institute found that in rodents, aspartame increased the likelihood of cancer occurring by up to, in certain cases, 17%. The study recorded occurrence of cancer in their Sprague-Dawley rats throughout their lifespan and found that lymphoma or leukemia occurrence in female mice exposed to artificial sweeteners like aspartame increased from 12.6% for the control group to 17.1% for the low-dose group at 20 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, and finally to the high-dose group at 100 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, 31.4%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an increase of 17% cancer occurrence, which means that I should have to work some statistics into here. Okay, I'll note that for later. Which means that more than 2 times the number of rats got cancer from eating an admittedly high dose of aspartame. However, the high number shouldn't be the one we're concerned about. It's the low number. It's the fact that just by consuming half the recommended daily allowance of aspartame, you are 5% more likely to get cancer. Or, to put that in simpler words, you are 0.5 times more likely to get cancer. The maths is at this point sounding very weird, ladies and gentlemen, but please, do bear with me. Also, I'm doing something that you should never do when you're public speaking, okay? Never, ever, ever apologize for what you just said, unless it's a joke that people may find offensive. In that case, if you're cracking an offensive joke, please do apologize. However, if you just made a simple mistake like I did, never apologize. Because most likely people would notice. If they do notice, they probably wouldn't care. This is actually a rookie mistake I'm making. Many rookie mistakes. I will go back and watch this recording. And I'll probably be very sad at myself. Because this is honestly not peak performance. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. But I won't give up. Yeah, also that actually took 10 minutes. Presentation's 15 minutes total. It's not a good day. It's really not a good day. I probably have to practice more off stream. I have to tidy this up as well. I have to tidy up the script as well. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna sit down. Because yeah, as you can tell, it's not that easy being a public speaker, especially when you're at a practice. I'm basically an athlete that's all flabby and fat right now. I mean, the mental equivalent of an athlete that's all flabby and fat. Yeah, you can see I am pretty fat. But yeah, I don't mind. I'm working on cutting those calories, yo. Okay. Yeah, it's not. I don't know, man. Not today, you know. It's not a good day. It's not a good day. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, stream's getting unstable. Okay, so I need to take a breather. Not because... Actually, it's more because I'm mentally exhausted rather than physically exhausted. Also, it is getting hot. It's been pretty hot recently where I live. And, you know, the heat might be getting to me. Man. Yeah, it is quite tiring sometimes. Hot, man. Basically playing this version so I don't get copyright striked. Basically, I don't know, man. I tried my best. Man. Okay. There's progress at least. I managed to make it to like maybe a third through of the script. One third of the script is already quite good. Considering this is supposed to be a 15-minute script. I do think that I was thinking previously that what I wrote was actually not enough. But the more I think about it, because yeah, when you're doing presentation, in real life, you have to incorporate into your script the fact that there will be a delay. There will always be a delay because because in real life things move slower than you expect. You have to be able to build that into your script whenever you're public speaking. However perfect you get a run, always make sure that you have some amount of extra time at the end, unless you really can't manage that extra time. You're running it really close. That's fine. It's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, I personally prefer. It's just personal preference to always end a little bit earlier, maybe like 30 seconds earlier, up to a minute. Because the amount of when I practice, the amount of lag that I built into this script, is actually not enough, I think, because I was trying to practice the script. I was running about like this 48 seconds right here, and then I ran a 3 minute with the earlier version of the script, and then yesterday I ran a 5 odd minute. But that was, as I said, that was a perfect run. You can almost never get a perfect run unless you have an absurd amount of practice. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the thing actually. You have to always account for the fact that in real life you get nervous, you get delayed, and the timekeeper might not be that kind. Sometimes when you're doing presentation in places like this, sometimes the timekeeper, when you get on stage, they just go straight on, and then they say your time starts now, and then you haven't even gotten the mic in your hands yet because the MC, who is not the timekeeper, is still fumbling around with the mic in their hands. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. You always have to build in that lag. And also you have to be aware that you have to have your coping mechanisms for your nervousness. Like me, I prefer to walk around. I prefer to fling my hands around like that. There's no right or wrong when it comes to coping mechanisms. Just make sure that if you can, make it enhance your speech. And like I fling my hands. I don't know. It makes the audience laugh sometimes. That is what you want to get them to do. You want to get them to laugh, whether it's at yourself or whether it's at your script. Depends. Of course, if it's for a funeral, you don't want to get them to laugh. I mean, unless you're that kind of person. But for really formal stuff, not presentations like this. This is, yes, it's formal, but you also have some amount of leeway to crack jokes. That's why I have a gimmick at the start with my Coca-Cola bottle or can. It depends on whatever I'm able to get a hold of that day. Yeah, because this is the laughing part at the start. And after that, this is a serious bit. Because we're talking about cancer, ladies and gentlemen. That's not something you can take lightly. Because what we're doing here is we're trying to convince people to fund our what do you call this? Is this a research paper? Is this a thesis? Is this a study? Trying to get us to fund our study. So we're trying to get money, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to get Wonga. We're trying to get the greenbacks. So even with that, you have to be aware that sometimes you have to make sure they don't fall asleep. Easier said than done. So I'm going to do a perfect run. Where's my zoom lens? There it is. All right, that's it. Stream's over, ladies and gentlemen.